Well, last week we had some incidents here. We had a lot of fun, but it was a bit of a wild Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we had so much fun talking college football. We got to talk college football every week.
Yes.
So here for a more mild Wednesday, I would guess, is our Props Network college football correspondent, my good friend, Eli Sairs.
Yeah. Woo, woo, woo.
Hey,
Hey,
Thank you for having me on this so humbling of days.
Yeah, it's a mild Wednesday here.
Hey, look, I told you this was the best season ever. It is. It's unpredictable. Rutgers won against a Big Ten team. Everyone gets a free pass on their predictions, all right? I'm sorry. Everyone.
And what was that pick you were proffering last week?
I'm not sure exactly what proffering means, but which one? Penn State?
I was talking Raiders money line tied with Dolphins to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, what? Did that not pan out?
No, it did. The Raiders lost by 25.
Okay, but I'm going to get him, Brian.
Yeah, get him.
Did the Dolphins lose this past weekend?
They were on a bye.
Oh, you're so smart. You know everything about football. Everything.
Well, I know not to bet on Penn State ever again.
Look, I told you it was going to be a tight one.
That's true.
And I think I said Penn State should win by a touchdown. I watched that game. Penn State should have won by a touchdown. They fought James Franklin. I don't know, man. James Franklin is a correctly paid Jim Harbaugh. I'd say still maybe a little bit more money, but it's like, okay, you have a good team. But I mean, more on that in a bit, I guess. Michigan surprised us a little bit.
Michigan, they came to play. But Penn State, they were obviously a really good team. I was impressed with the quarterback play.
On paper, yeah. I think Sean Clifford's great. He can run on you. I think they'll still be good. They're not going to beat OSU. I think they'll probably lose 3 games. But, you know, they're still a good team. They'll still be in it next year and all that.
And
they'll be better next year.
And that was just a great game. Like, a lot of those quarterbacks, both Penix and the guy from Penn State, they were making, like, pretty difficult across-the-field throws. It was a really great way to hang out Saturday during the afternoon and kill some time.
And angrily text your friend. Hey, you dropped Penn, though, right?
My big money, I put Ohio State with Wisconsin last week on the. What are you drinking, like Stone Cold Steve Austin?
After I've had some great victories.
That's a seltzer, man.
It's Wild Wednesday, you know. I'm not doing just regular water. Penn State messed that up.
No, and last week I put so much money. I did a giant parlay, so I just played with the winnings.
I will say this. Arguably, Indiana did not win. That play was so cool that, okay, sure, I'll allow it. God bless you, Penix, but I think it looked like it didn't.
It didn't.
I don't think it was. It's like so close that I get it, but I don't think he got that.
No.
I don't think he got that by a hair.
Yeah,
by a tiny bit.
But that's the great part about college football. You got some pimple-faced kid running the scoreboard. Like, there is some home cooking in the refereeing, especially in the Big Ten.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But wait, hey, you know, he's going to take that victory home and frame it up. So that's the only one he's going to get. So
Indiana
they'll be fine.
1-7 on the year. Before we get into all around the college football landscape, do you have any Trevor Lawrence trash talk?
Oh yeah, I forgot we were gonna do that until recently. But did you have some? We're just roasting him, right?
Yeah, I've got like 3 or 4 here.
I wish there was a giant picture of. Let me hear him.
Okay. You know, Trevor Lawrence, he's a great prospect. He trends on Twitter every Sunday. Congrats, Trevor. You have something in common with a shitty SNL sketch.
I wrote he somehow looks like a hippie who's scared to try weed. That's what he looks like to me.
And he does actually look like Sunshine from that Denzel Washington movie. Yeah. And after he's drafted by the Jaguars, he'll be sad to remember the Titans are in that division.
That's clever. I love that one. He looks like his dad owns Sweden. He looks like a ghost that haunts a surfboard shop.
He's a 5-star prospect with the face of a boy, the rare recruit who would appeal to both Paterno and Sandusky.
Oh, that's it. That's the one right there. That's the one right
That,
there.
I, mean, I told you on Monday I'm going to fine you. That's a $5 fine. Right
Okay, I got a PG one. I'll put
All
a
right.
better taste in your
That's
mouth.
$10 right there.
He looks like a character from the cartoon Rocket Power, which makes sense because he's only good because of the plays that are drawn up for him.
Oh,
Nice. See the PG ones, they aren't fucking funny, are they?
No, this fucking high C commercial. He looks like he named his skimboard bro.
And
He looks like Trevor is his first and last name. Trevor.
all right, so we have Trash Trevor. Brian, do you have any trash talks for Trev?
he's got good shampoo.
Yeah. He looks like Thor's Arm and Hammer. Am I right?
Yeah, he runs a Pantene Pro style offense.
Hey, yeah, I love it.
Well, he's very white. He looks like he starts a lot of sentences with, "Look, it's definitely wrong he was killed, but."
Okay, and that's a wrap on the segment. We have Trash Trevor Lawrence. So I'm gonna be. I did really well last weekend. We're gonna be playing. I want to do let's pick 5 bets for the weekend.
Okay.
$25 on each. Let's start in the SEC. I am probably my favorite line that jumps out of me is Georgia minus 14.5 at Kentucky.
You thinking Georgia in that?
Yeah, Georgia.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Georgia off the bye, off the loss. That was a good team that ran into some bad luck. They can do
Good team. Kentucky has a good defense. Georgia has a better defense.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky has a faltering offense. Georgia has a better faltering offense. Like, I think that Terry Wilson, he's struggled a little bit recently, but Stetson Bennett, the 4th Esquire MD, His Highness, has also had some troubles, which I'm sure his servants felt the brunt of it over the past week.
Yeah, and I think just by virtue of it's an early game, noon on Saturday. Like, if you're the home team and you're an underdog, you're going to want some time to really get some wind in your sails. Empty stadium at noon. I think the much bigger Georgia team should just be able to roll.
I think Georgia's gonna cover this.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
easy. This is an easy one.
Yeah, so I'm going to put that in bold. And Georgia, I know they had a bad break, but I expect them to be the other team. They're going to be in the conversation for the SEC championship.
Yeah, it depends on how Florida reacts to their setbacks. To be honest, I think it's gonna be Florida or Georgia.
And like, let's talk about Florida. What's even going on with that game? Is it canceled now?
Who knows?
And they've already had their.
I think it's happening, right? Technically, still.
I think it's like on the fence at the moment.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
still pretty early in the week. We're recording. COVID. They had the coach who announced to the press, "Oh, we need to have our stadium full." And they've already had one game postponed to LSU. Now they're having a second game postponed.
Yeah, they just added 6 people from yesterday. 6 new students.
I still believe in Florida. It's all kind of calmed down because there's a second like, oh, are they the LSU of this year? They're not that good, but I do think Trask is one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in the SEC. I think they're still going to compete. I think they're going to beat. I think Missouri's going to keep it competitive, but I think that what's the spread on that?
On that one, for the Florida game, there's no spread right now because of everything that's going on. It was between 7 and 10, and I think it might end up around like Florida by 3.5.
Yeah, that sounds a little better than. I think Florida covers that.
Yeah, but you got to stay away.
I would be careful. Yeah, but I'm not careful. I'm a wild man.
It is Wild Wednesday. No. But just in this situation, and like having seen Missouri be on one of the right side of one of these insane upsets already this year, I'm probably not going to bet against Missouri.
Yeah, I believe in Drinkwitz as a coach. I think. You're probably smart. I think Florida will win and cover, but it's probably smart to stay away from it.
Yeah, COVID games in the NFL have been very difficult to prognosticate. It's not really gone the way we've expected. Mm-hmm. So with college, it just tells me to stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have college courses too. So
wait, what?
They have the college. They have to do their courses.
Stupid.
They have to do their classes.
Wait, they got to take classes during all this bullshit?
I mean, they don't really take classes. So I went to a football power. I went to USC.
Yeah,
and I was I had a science class with one of the starting offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And in one of the lectures, he fell asleep and started touching himself while he was asleep.
Oh, no names, please.
And I believe it was Thomas Heron was his name. And then that happened, and then the next class, a coach was there not to keep him awake. He was allowed to fall asleep, but if he started touching himself while he was asleep, the coach would wake him up.
What?
That's the level of scholastic engagement from these athletes.
Was it Carroll?
It was not.
Was
It was
he trying to pay him?
It was some like video coordinator. It was like, yeah, I'm really going after my college football dreams.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Man, that really didn't get a response and derailed the segment horribly, huh?
Oh, it's okay. Y'all, I bombed a joke in there too, but it's all right. We're moving on.
Yeah, and so probably the most intriguing game in the SEC this week is LSU at Auburn.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I like LSU here. I think. What's the line on that? That's another 3.5, something like
No,
that.
2.5.
Two and a
Less
half?
than a field
Yeah,
goal, and
yeah.
like less than a field goal is them. That kind of if LSU's favored on the road like that, that's the odds maker saying we think LSU is a much better team.
Yeah.
Look, Auburn. How many more refs can they fit in their pocket? You know, like I don't like they've gotten by on. I didn't get a good look at the Ole Miss play where apparently one of the Auburn players like touched the ball, but they didn't get called on it. And I didn't watch it. I don't need to. It's a evil trash organization like that. You can never put it past them to do something slimy like that. So, I like LSU. There's uncertainty because they don't know if Miles Brennan is going to play or TJ Finley. I think either one of them still beats Auburn. Auburn has a great running back in Tate Bigsby, but they
good,
still
though.
believe in Bo Nix because they're morons.
Yeah.
And they're evil, and Gus is evil. Gus isn't evil. Gus is more like a hapless fool, I guess, who has dirred his way into a winning record somehow this season. But, I like LSU there.
Yeah, and it's just
no
like
personal bias whatsoever.
Auburn for like 3 years straight. They've had a pretty hard to watch offense, and I
Yeah.
just don't think you're going to be able to keep up in the SEC if that's the case.
Yeah.
If they just run the ball though, Bigsby is
He's great,
special.
but-
He's
but-
something special.
Yeah, but Gus is also special in another way, and he doesn't he doesn't do what makes sense.
That is true.
And okay, a couple boring SEC games that I think they're
unheard of.
These aren't the glamour games, but I think there is good value in maybe betting on them.
All right,
I'm looking at Ole Miss at Vandy, minus 16.5,
I like that.
and then Arkansas at A&M.
You like that one?
Well, I know the track record between these two teams. Like
Yeah.
A&M Arkansas games are always nuts. They're usually three.
It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna say that. This is the game that I'm probably besides Cincy Memphis, I'm looking probably most forward to A&M because they're two underrated teams. The Razorbacks are underrated in the SEC. And I think A&M might be the most underappreciated team in the SEC. They're good. The Razorbacks have a really good defense. I think Felipe Franks is not the quarterback to take them to that next level. So I think that the Razorbacks cover, but that they don't win. Sam Pittman, I like him as a coach. I think he's a great fit for the Razorbacks, mostly because he looks like a warthog. But I think he's just great. I think I like watching the team. But yeah, I think that I like the Razorbacks to cover but not win.
Yeah, and then this week Alabama is probably just favored by too much. They're missing.
Don't take that one. Don't
Yeah.
take that one. Mississippi State's going to score on us without a doubt. Alabama doesn't have a good defense. We're
Yeah.
going to win handily, but I don't think we're going to cover whatever the
Yeah.
spread. What is the spread like?
31.
Yeah.
That's way too big.
Just to go back to Vandy.
Ole Miss. Take Ole Miss. Take Ole Miss without a doubt.
I was just going to Vandy. Yeah, you got to take Ole Miss because Vandy has some COVID players too as well.
Yeah,
so.
we'll say that's why. Sure. yeah, that's it. That's why Vandy's going to lose big. No disrespect to Derek Mason and them, but they just don't have the guns.
Oh, yeah,
And
they're-
Ole Miss. I think this is going to be a great confidence restoring game for Matt Corral. I think they're going to light him up.
Yeah, so right now I see Georgia, Ole Miss, pretty easy bets to make.
Yeah.
I think I might go LSU as well.
Yo, put some respect on A&M's name.
They're good. They're good.
I would. I mean, just the conditions of looking at those two teams makes me want to back A&M, but the track record, like last 5 years, has been a one-possession game, so that's one we sit out.
I'd say so. Yeah.
And I think that's it going on in the SEC this week. Quickly, that Memphis-Cincinnati game, a lot of people are really liking Cincinnati by, I think, 6.5 in that one.
That's fair.
They
I think
are-
that's fair.
They are a
it's
dynamic
gonna be fun. Their
offense.
Who?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Ritter had a better game this last game than the one before that where he had a few picks. But look, Memphis is awesome. I think Brady White always rises to the occasion, but it's not going to be enough. Cincy, their defense is so solid. I think Cincy's going to win it pretty handily.
Yeah, they're favored by 7, so the line's gone up a little bit.
Oh, has it?
So, yeah, so
Jeez.
that tells me that money's going on them just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe stay. I think Memphis is or not Memphis. I think Cincy's definitely going to win. 7 though, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then another kind of non-Power 5 game that I just love this week is Coastal Carolina getting less than a field goal against Georgia State. How
So
is
fun.
that? How? That's an awesome team. They're so good.
Well, I'll tell you this: Georgia State, I think, just according to the numbers, has the best offense in the Sun Belt and the worst defense. So they're gonna hang around, but I think Coastal Carolina gets it done. Honestly, I think Grayson McCall is a lot of fun to watch. They're a fun team. The Sun Belt rules this year. You take like the Raging Cajuns out and put them in the Big 12. They already have beaten a Big 12 team. Like I think they would be in the discussion for for the way Cincinnati is for maybe an outlier playoff team.
And the Big 12 does have some goofy teams. I think Coastal Carolina would not be the most out of place team
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Texas, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, West Virginia.
Hey, Letty Brown's a stud. Letty Brown rules.
Yeah, Texas, Texas.
Wait, Texas what?
Yeah, Texas Tech. There's too many Texas universities.
Oh yeah. That
Too confusing.
that word's all over the place.
Only one of them's got a clock tower. That's the only real school. Okay. Big Ten is probably the best slate. The biggest
Woo!
game in college football will be probably over by halfway through the first quarter,
You
I
think?
think.
You think?
I think half. I think you're correct in spirit. I'd say I give it toward the half.
Yeah.
Ohio State at Penn State, and I don't want to live dangerously this week. I want to have kind of relaxing Saturday. I'll have a little out. If this were a juicy Saturday, I'd be back in that Ohio State money line for sure.
Yeah.
Are you not? You saying you're not going to bet on OSU to cover?
I'm not going to bet on OSU to win. I would maybe put 500 on OSU
You're not
to
going
win.
to bet on
100.
OSU to win?
It's just it's too much to put up.
Okay, so you're not feeling wild. Well,
It's just.
I think that you should take OSU to cover.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
and I would rather bet $25 on OSU to cover than bet 500 on OSU to win.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Penn State, pretty unimpressive
Yeah,
defensive
no.
showing last week to give up 2-point conversions to lose to Indiana.
Yeah, you're right.
This is a game where Penn State, they're going to be really fired up. They have an embarrassing
Yeah, I think they'll
loss.
be very fired up the first half. Very fired
They
up
could,
the first
yeah.
half. But Ohio State's just technically their defense is not impenetrable. It's not perfect, but we're just playing. The game is such that there just aren't that many elite defenses like that anymore.
Yeah.
And they're going to be throwing they don't have without J.K. Dobbins. They're going to be throwing a lot more. Teague and Trey Sermon have shown they're great at running, but I think they're going to just light them up and a lot of points scored, and I think they're going to cover.
And I think what really makes Ohio State a great program is that they're able to get these Alabama, LSU, Georgia level athletes and mold them into a traditional Big Ten kind of scheme. So watching that Nebraska game, I saw Nebraska just get worn down over the course of the first half, and then they were done.
It was never. It was never in doubt. I went back and watched it, and it never felt like It never felt like there was going to be an actual upset.
Yeah. So this one, Ohio State, for sure. Maybe. Yeah, just take them straight up. Avoid that. No, Penn State, it seems like a sucker bet to me. They've adjusted the line on this one.
Okay.
4 points.
Shit.
Really?
Yeah, they went from -8.5 to -12.5, not related to any injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So, just given the point differentials, you're seeing the Clemson, Alabama margins. OSU has to keep up with that.
Yeah.
They got the highest expectations of any team this year, it feels like.
And unfortunately, my biggest no-brainer on the board is the Michigan State Spartans against the Wolverines.
Ooh.
What do you think about that?
That's going to be a shellacking.
Yeah, it's going to be a shellacking, but Michigan State is getting 24.5 points. Just given, Michigan's rival is Ohio State. They're fired up. That's all they care about. Michigan State's rival is Michigan.
You know the lay of the land very well.
Yeah, Michigan State always plays Michigan well, especially when Michigan's a better team than Michigan State, and especially with Michigan State getting embarrassed when there's still a program that can recruit pretty well.
Yeah.
Like they didn't use their horses the way they could be used last Saturday against Rutgers.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think your instincts are correct on that. I think that they're going to be out for blood. I mean, I don't know. Rocky Lombardi didn't look like a world beater against Rutgers, I guess. But hopefully they'll be tighter. They'll be tightened up. They'll be aggressive. But I mean, Michigan looked better than we've seen them before under Harbaugh, right?
Yeah, but
Milton looked. He did really well. Credit
Yeah,
where it's due.
Milton
They
really
looked really good. And again, I think they're going to be good and not quite elite, and they're still going to lose to the Buckeyes. But it might be closer than I originally thought it would have been.
Michigan's a team that they're going to finish second in the Big Ten. Like I feel like that's clear after 1 week, given how Wisconsin's just been absolutely destroyed by COVID.
Oh,
Well,
you
we'll
can.
see. It might make them stronger.
Yeah, they're going to be like the Trump of the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're about to win again. What game were we just discussing?
Michigan State at Michigan.
State. Yeah, I think I would be great if these players could go out there and have a great season and win it all in spite of Jim Harbaugh. That would be awesome. I hope it happens.
And Michigan isn't designed to blow teams out. They blew out Minnesota because they got some weird bounces.
Oh, yeah.
And also, let's see how good Minnesota's defense turns out to be. We don't know.
Good point.
We'll see. But right now, I'm going to give credit where it's due, and I'm going to say Michigan is really good. That's what it seems like. But I think you are correct that Michigan State's going to cover.
Yeah, Michigan probably wins this game. It's probably they win by 10-14.
Yeah.
That sounds 10 to 14. Similar margin. I think it would be a little bit higher than that. I don't know. I'm thinking more in like the 34-27, 34-28 range or something.
34-28. That's still
a little sweat.
Easy cover.
Yeah.
I don't know. Michigan State can't score 34 against that defense.
I don't think Michigan State's going to win. Oh, you said Michigan? Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I think they might. I think it might be closer to 34-14 or 34-21.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
and then
something like that.
Next one, I'm pretty intrigued by this game. We had Iowa. They blew a winnable game against Purdue.
That's crazy. Yeah.
We had Northwestern. They blew the hell out of Maryland.
Well, Maryland looked like dog shit.
Listen, that's
Pardon
how
my
crazy.
French,
That's
as
how
a
crazy. That's how wild Wednesday was last week. That you took Iowa to win the Big Ten West. That was kind of crazy. But I think that
the most outlandish thing from last Wednesday.
I think Iowa's going to win and cover. Northwestern, they looked great. We're gonna see new versus stubborn old, because Kirk Ferentz, he likes that conservative old school football. He hasn't really when Northwestern has a more exciting offense than you.
Yeah.
Like, come on, they're more cutting edge than you. Like, there was a moment where Spencer Petras was like, you get either him when he's good, or the next series he might be bad. They had good Spencer on a run all the way down there, and there was some bullshit with the clock management where they had time to go for the end zone a couple times. Instead, they just kicked a field goal, I think, before the half ended. And I think Ferentz admitted that was a mistake. But in that moment, I was like, you're not going to win games like this. Mm-hmm. Spencer was hot. Let him sling.
Yep.
And I think that he's going to be more aggressive this week. And again, Northwestern, I don't know, maybe Peyton Ramsey really is great, but it was against Maryland, who has no D-line, no O-line.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah,
we'll see. I think they're good. I think Northwestern is good, but I think Iowa is going to win this one.
Yeah, and in a vacuum, I expect their long-term development of the O-line will show up in this game. They'll control the trenches on both sides of the football. That's what determines this game.
Yeah.
And they're getting less than a field goal. I love Iowa here.
I think so too. I think Iowa's a smart one.
And this is the Big Ten. In any other conference, a team with like Northwestern can go a little further than they can go here just by the size of the bodies on these offensive lines.
I'm excited for it. I like new Northwestern. I like all this. This rules.
Yeah,
great season. I'm loving this season.
Iowa against Purdue. Iowa had 2 rushers go for 70. That's a bad offensive line from Purdue. So if that's all right, I think if Iowa's still having trouble on that D line, they're just gonna run the ball and just tire you out.
Yeah.
So
it's fair.
That could be the case. And is this crazy? Is Rutgers, Indiana a good game?
I'm gonna watch the shit out of it. So no, but yeah, I think it might be. I don't know. They're both coming. They're both going to be coming in like real confident. You know. Look, I don't know that Rutgers team. I have no idea. Look, what they look to me. They look like an extremely coached up team. Like they were amped up. They were not missing tackles. They were on point. They were aggressive. Like all the things that he's gonna. Greg Schiano is gonna. It's gonna take a while for him to recruit how he wants to. But as far as the way a coach can make a difference just right away, that was the best outcome I could think of.
Yeah, that was disciplined football. I
Yeah.
saw some disciplined football out there.
Noah Vedrell's not a slouch at QB. In Penix, we saw what he can do. It's gonna be good. I like Indiana to win but not cover. What do you think? Is that safe?
The spread got taken down on this game. I think Indiana was favored in the teens, but it's just not up right now. I saw it at favored by 17 this morning. So maybe there's some injuries. There's something going on with it. This is probably a stay away just because both of them were involved in such weird matchups last week. Mm-hmm. But it is one to
monitor. It's probably a stay away. I should say, they're all probably, a lot of these are stay aways. But, I like to... Wild Wednesday at 7.
Yeah, and then ACC, Clemson, minus 31.5 versus BC. Clemmy looked a little bit sloppy last week.
Didn't they? They did. So
you got it?
I'm a little bit torn. Are they going to be so mad about that they come in there and just light it up and Dabo runs up the score? I don't know. I don't know. But also maybe they just again, this was nothing. People were making a big deal out of that performance against Syracuse. Clemson always does this. Once or twice a year, they just kind of shit the bed. They know that they're amazing, and they just kind of sleepwalk in there. There's nothing to be read into that, I think. They're still Clemson, but they might just sleepwalk into this and not really care. And Dabo is probably more distracted worrying about getting Trump reelected or something. So I don't know. I don't know if his heart is going to be in this game. And then Boston College, Phil Jurkovec is not like a flashy, amazing quarterback, but he's maybe an underappreciated one. I think he'll put up some points. Mm-hmm. I'd maybe probably say stay away. I lean toward BC barely covering. But I don't know, man. Clemson's going to run that score up. But I lean slightly toward BC covering. What do you think?
I would be inclined to go with a lot of favorites in the ACC. I would back Clemson here, minus 31.5. And I would probably back Notre Dame by 20 over Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to – Georgia Tech
no-brainer.
Does not have a good defense, and they can move the ball on you. They're not good in the red zone, though, and I think Notre Dame's going to
Yeah, and I want them both to look good. I want Notre Dame to look great this weekend because we're thinking about next week.
Oh,
Clemson, Notre Dame. Oh. I don't care what the line is. You're bad Clemson all the way.
That's going to be a
there.
good.
Yeah, this is going to be Miami versus Clemson redo. There's going to be a lot of talking up leading up to the game. There's going to be a lot of upset talk. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, with Notre Dame
it's not going to happen.
Notre Dame's in the ACC this year, and the ACC, the other teams right now, they only exist to be propped up next to Clemson and just
the ACC
down.
sucks. The second best team's Miami, and then maybe North Carolina. But No, Notre Dame doesn't stand a chance.
They will lay.
They struggled against. I'll give them that struggle against Louisville because Louisville's been all over the place. But no, Clemson's gonna destroy them. I think.
Yeah, they're gonna lay a big old egg in that game. They're gonna be all hyped, too hyped, and then just have a sugar crash. And it's gonna be awful.
Probably my favorite line in the ACC is I think UNC. They've got a great coach. They've got Mac Brown, right?
I like Mac Brown. I think he's going to add another. He's got a lot of wins in his career, and I think he's going to add another one.
And Mac Brown, all he cares about is getting 5-star prospects. So that goes a long way in the ACC. It's not like a lot of football machines. They had a great win against NC State last week, coming off the loss against the Seminoles. Man, if you
got that defense back in shape. And Sam Howell's another one like Jurkovec, who I think is a little bit sloppy and inconsistent, but just maybe not appreciated as much as he should be. I think he's really talented. They have a good run game, good O-line. Yeah, I think they're going to win easy.
Yeah, UNC by less than a touchdown at Virginia. That's something I think I'm going to back there.
Yeah.
And then Big 12, we have maybe the biggest game of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma State at Texas.
Can't wait.
Oklahoma State, like the line's really scary to me in this one.
Oh yeah, stay run the fuck away from this one, Jesus.
And like you would just look at this in a vacuum. You've seen what Oklahoma State does. They're only favored by 3.5 points.
Yeah, there's a lot of the thing is Sam Ehlinger is good, and Texas offense is so good sometimes that you never know what you're gonna get. I could see them just being on point and pulling it off and beating them, but I like Oklahoma State here. I like them to remain the best team in the Big 12.
Yes.
I think Spencer Sanders is really good. I think they're going to win. I like their win against Iowa State. It felt like kind of old school, well-balanced. You had your defense. You had some conservative play when it needed to be done, smart football.
Totally agree.
I would not lay money on this game, but I like Oklahoma State to win by a field goal. But they're favored by what, 3.5, something like that?
3.5.
Yeah, so don't fuck with that. But I think they'll win by like a field goal.
And this is a case where, like, Texas being a public team actually gives them more value here. Like, if Texas wasn't Texas, Oklahoma State would probably be favored by around a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But all these bets we have, everyone on the bets has a great running scheme. So you bet with the running. You bet with the running. That's the way you
pro
go.
Gamblers. You tell me.
I mean, college, I feel like you just base it on the lines.
Yeah.
Like, whoever is traditionally a better school can recruit better, and they'll have better offensive and defensive linemen. Like,
True.
I think the formula for having a good time betting on college football is pretty simple.
Yeah.
I think. This is not a new thing, but watching the games helps. Like, just you sometimes like more so than like the final score. You see like, they got those in garbage time. You can see things that the write-ups don't necessarily tell you.
Yeah. Especially like early in the game, just like how they're
seeing
executing
how they
and
react.
stuff.
You can get a feel for the intangibles and the character of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, for example, that Michigan game was more lopsided. The score looked more lopsided than the game was.
Yes.
That Bama-Georgia game was more lopsided than the game was.
Yeah. And like with Auburn, they have these wins, but you wouldn't know that it was all because of being weaselly, you know. And if you know that they're a bunch of weasels, slimy
Auburn,
weasels,
dig.
then you know what's going on. You can be wiser with your money.
Hatred for Auburn, and I
Who?
totally understand.
whoa,
hey now, hey.
In an Alabama shirt. Whatever. I would never hate on Auburn. I love the kids. I love the players. I hate all the everything else.
Everything else. The Tigers, the color scheme.
Yes.
everything.
Oh God.
Everything else. But there can't be that many Auburn fans in Alabama, right? It's Bama country.
Yeah, for the most part, but they exist. Little contrarian assholes.
Yeah, if you go to like a Walmart, what percentage of the gear is Bama? What percentage is Auburn?
I mean, Walmart is just like a soulless corporation, so they're just it's probably more Auburn than where I was, at least more Auburn than there was actual Auburn fans. I guess in our mall we had the Bama Auburn store. It was just a store. You know how they had stores in the malls back then, and half down the middle of it was one side Auburn, all orange and blue, and then you can go into the left side where it's all crimson for Bama. Yeah, I used to just go there and look at shit.
Hey, I mean, I spent some Saturday afternoons in a Stephen Barry's. It was a good time. Everything was $20.
It's great. You get a lot of good stuff out of there.
And should we back SMU versus Navy by 13?
No, you should not. No, you should not. There are SMU rules. I love SMU, even with the loss to Cincy, but I think they're gonna maybe have some trouble with that triple option. To be honest, I'd stay away from it.
And then I guess the last one I am looking at, I think Oklahoma is a stay away versus Texas Tech. They're getting slightly more than 2 touchdowns.
That's a stay away for you?
Stay away.
That's too big, right?
I will say I'm not on the let's rehabilitate Oklahoma train, I guess. A lot of people were saying like, oh no, they're good now, but like, I don't know, look who they're saying their defense is much better, but it was against TCU. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
TCU, Texas Christian, you look like I don't know. The strength of Christ is not in that offensive line. All right, like people of Texas, direct your prayers away from Dak Prescott and send them to the Texas Tech offensive line. The TCU offensive line because they need it. And I think it made Oklahoma look better than they are. I still kind of don't buy them as like they're gonna like win out or anything like that. but I do think that they're more than 2 touchdowns better than Texas Tech.
Yeah. As a TCU nun, I believe in that prayer for the offense.
He praised to LaDainian Tomlinson.
I understand. Keep away because Texas Tech, no one thought they were going to beat West Virginia last week, And like, I don't know, Henry Columbia is no slouch, but I don't know, Matt Wells has just been kind of a disappointment there. I don't think they're going to – I would like it if they did, but I think that Oklahoma covers there personally.
Yeah, but Oklahoma at this point of the year, I've seen them get upset. I haven't seen enough for me to favor them.
They are just kind of
To favor a team by more than 2 touchdowns on the road, I have to think they're a great team. I know Oklahoma is a great hype machine.
Yes.
Spencer Rattler has not proven to be
Not
up to
really.
par of the previous guys.
Yeah.
Not yet, at least.
So, yeah, Oklahoma.
They're probably a stay-away team in general. You're probably right about that. Yeah.
So this week in college football, we're going to go Georgia versus Kentucky. Slightly more than 2 touchdowns. We'll probably buy a half point there. Mm-hmm. We're going to go Ole Miss at Vandy. Mm-hmm. We're going to go Iowa over Northwestern. And we're going to go UNC at Virginia. I think we're going chill. I'll put $25 on each of these.
Oh. Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, and then fuck it. Ohio State.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, Ohio State's gonna come.
You're not allowed to get mad at me. You're not allowed to get mad at me though. If they pull a Penn State and fuck up or anything, I think they're gonna cover. I think you'll be fine too.
No, the Penn State thing, I wasn't mad at you. That was an infuriating gambling loss. But luckily, the Lions won their game the next day in the same fashion I lost that.
That was a great moment. Yeah.
Really, we had a great weekend for falling over the goal line.
Too many times.
Football players looking drunk. That's what we're here for. Do you want to? I'm going to do an ad read. Do you want to stick around? I'm just going to talk a little NFL, and then we're going to set sail.
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Okay, so do you know the place where bets begin? Well, that is thepropsnetwork.com. No, the Props Network is not a sports book. It's where smart bettors and new players go before the sports book. Why? Because the Props Network has a few things that all bettors need: exclusive sign-up bonuses, reporting on weekly promos, free betting picks, and live odds comparison for every football game. A visit to thepropsnetwork.com before placing a bet guarantees that you'll be wagering with the best available bonuses and getting the biggest possible payout if your bets hit. This week at the Props Network, you'll get $30 free bets, no deposit required from Unibet. And then you can get 4 risk-free bets worth up to $1,000 at PointsBet with code BONUSPROPS. And you'll get up to a $250 bonus credit when you make a new account at BetRivers. And, if you're on the Colts, bet against Rivers. And you can get all these deals and more at thepropsnetwork.com. Must be 21 or older to bet online. If you or someone you know have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER today. Boom. Love doing that.